Hey everybody, it's John from Sun Coatings. It's December 15th and it's cold outside. I live here in the Northeast. I think today it's like 17 degrees right now outside. So things are slowing down. You're not pouring epoxy in garages unless they're heated or in heated spaces inside. It's too cold. So I just thought I'd take a second for you guys to show you what's in my estimate bag. When I went to school, we spent most of our time talking about the process of applying epoxy or polishing concrete. We didn't talk too much about the sales side, but I figured it out pretty quick. So in this bag here, I've used it for a long time now. I have every single thing I need. It's never failed me. I've never come up short for something I didn't have. It's not a lot of stuff. It looks professional. Everything works, and I think it really helps out to have that kind of more polished look, just to show up with all the materials that you need. You can bust out an estimate real quick or a rough figure, and yeah, so let's walk you through the stuff here. There she is, Santa's little helper, my constant shadow, Emmy. It's nap time. All right, so here's my bag. This is for my old working in an office background, the Patagonia black bag. I think it looks pretty cool. Expands a lot, holds everything I need. Has what do you call this? A strap for your shoulder. It's cool. I bring my iPad. This is cool because I get to show past projects that I've done, but also cool ideas that I've seen online that I'd like to do. And yeah, people like it. The number one most used tool I have here is my laser ruler. I'm not sure if that's the correct technical name for it, but most spaces we work in are square. So you take two shots and you know your square footage. Don't ever trust your customer to tell you what their square footage is. I don't think they try to cheat you most times, because I've had people tell me that they have a 600-foot slab and it's like 500. I'll tell them the truth and tell them it's smaller than they thought. But yeah, this is cool. Works. The second one is the tape measure here. That's good for aprons. Stem walls. It's used a lot, but not as much as the laser finder. And then I got this guy here. Don't use it very much, but some of these workspaces, have weird angles, and it just helps to be able to get a more accurate measurement. And you guys, when you're out there measuring things, if you come up with 439 square feet, just round it up to 450. You're not really cheating the customer. It's not unethical, but there's a lot of different things that suck up space when you're measuring. That's my pro tip for you. Got my little business card holder here. And then what I do here, I don't want to show you customers' addresses and stuff and phone numbers, but yeah, I take my pencil, I do a rough sketch of the workspace, the slab. I put down measurements of the linear feet of cracks I have to fix if needed, stem wall heights, stem wall widths, and I always do the apron measurement too. And what I found that makes customers happy, and it takes me just a few minutes, is every apron, and the apron's the part of the concrete that's outside of the garage door that you can see from the drive. Hand grind it with a 30 grit. Put down 2 coats of grind-in seal. It'll take you 20 minutes tops. It makes it look good. And I think the customers appreciate that little extra that you do for them. It doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't cost you any time. Sometimes I'll bring a bag of flake for a flake floor, just so the customer can see it and feel it. And maybe I'll take a handful and I'll throw it down on the floor for them. But I do have sample boards for every single flake that I carry. And those are 12 by 24 boards. They're made out of this MDF here. The boards are all in my trailer right now, but again, that's a sample of a sample that I did for someone. Then I have my product catalogs here, and I don't know, we got everything. We got joint filler information, so you can show them pictures. We got stain colors. We have overlay information. And I love polished concrete. If I'm going to polish a concrete floor, the first thing I do is I pull out my concrete stain. If you're going to spend the money to do a polished concrete floor, slap on a stain. You can earn a little bit of extra money, but you know what? It's going to look good, and it's going to look good for 100 years with almost no maintenance to it. And yeah, that's it. So, like I said, this is my estimate bag. It's never failed me. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but it's everything that I need. All right, just to wrap things up here. Like I said, it's cold out there. And it's gonna be cold until like May. So what do you do if you're in the epoxy business? Well, you gotta learn other skills. Polished concrete is the #1 biggest flooring segment that's growing these days. I read some article where it's like growing at 8% a year, or I don't know, $9 billion or something crazy. I'll have to look at the stats again, but it's big. The cool thing about polished concrete is that you can do it in the winter, and most of the sites that you're going to do polished concrete are inside. That means you'll probably have some heat, or at least to keep you above 32 degrees on the job site. The other cool thing about polished concrete, when it's summertime here in the Northeast and it's 98 degrees outside and it's humid and it feels like Cambodia, like you're deep in the jungle, would you rather apply epoxy to a garage or work in an inside AC workspace? Also, I'm considering getting into terrazzo. Again, that's all indoors. It's a beautiful material. It's in airports, schools, municipal buildings. Again, it's a lifetime, 100-year plus floor. The crazy thing is that most people don't know about polished concrete or terrazzo floors, and people tend to go for cheap LVP. Restaurants put in carpet or tile with grout. All that requires maintenance and doesn't last long. And when I talk about polished concrete online on various websites, a lot of these guys will kind of fight back and say, well, why would you give a customer a lifetime floor when you know that in 15, 20 years or maybe less, they're going to need their carpet replaced? Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point about polished concrete. It lasts forever, it looks good, no maintenance. And the first time I actually saw a house that had polished concrete, I went to my buddy's house in Maui, and his dad had built this new house, and he had polished concrete, and his guest houses, the main house, and I was like, whoa, you know, it just made sense. People think that polished concrete is slippery, and that's so false. Polished concrete meets and exceeds by several times all OSHA coefficients of traction in both wet and dry environments. It just works and it lasts, and it's again it's a side business that you can do if you live in the north when it gets too cold to put down epoxy. I do have some buddies that will put space heaters on their work sites, and I'm just like, it's too much trouble. Costs a lot of money. You get water vapor from the propane. I'd rather just go skiing and maybe take a few days off and work on my next concrete polishing job. So yeah, we covered a bunch of topics here. Let me know if you guys have any questions.